Hey y'all, welcome back to Rainbow Ma. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, y'all have not seen me for a while. The reason being is because I have literally moved 4 places in 4 months. Finally got to like my anchored spot for a while, and wow, if y'all are part of this channel, you know you've been going through it. It's because you're hyper aware, and because you're aware of so many different dimensions of reality, you see things that others don't, and it's just normal for you. And I literally welcome you. Everything is welcome here. All of those amazing, crazy stories that you've gone through in your life, honey, I hear you. I believe you because it's been my life too, okay? So I'm so excited to jump on this reading train. I was doing, the astrological signs because I am an astrologer. And I love doing astrology readings. In fact, I'm doing an astrology reading today, and I'd love to do yours. So reach out. I'll put my email down below for that. But you know what? I'm just going to do a daily for the collective and leave it at that. That's what I'm inspired to do, because at the end of the day, we can transcend all labels and we can create our own destiny. That is the point of liberation. That is the point of authenticity. And I want to remind you, before we get into this incredible reading, I can feel the energy. Remember, you are worthy. You are loved. Your dreams do matter. And remember, because you are here in this resonant frequency, you already know. You already know that you are free. And I'm here to remind you and help you overcome those blocks that may be putting you back. We as beings that have a really, intense life experience, sometimes we feel alone, and we need to have people in our lives that actually understand, that are actually aware of what's going on. Well, guess what? You have that here. And remember to comment below, because I'm ready for a community. I'm ready to hold a community in my energetic space and just to love you guys. And every single day, just show up and give you an amazing reading. So that was a long introduction. So let's get started. I'm just flipping these cards. I decided to do it on air instead of off air. That's what I felt like I needed to do. So I already shuffled. Now I flipped them all. And let's get started for this collective reading. Okay. Knowledge, Pluto, abyss, secrets, lessons yet to be realized. There's a key on this card with a keyhole. Again, you already know. That is like a base message for this reading. There is something within your being that you already know. And remember, even if you already know, you don't necessarily have the words to put to it, right? Because in the abyss, in that period of not knowing, you allow those miracles to occur. In that period of not knowing what's next, the most amazing experiences can happen if we let go. So I see that you have a lot of knowledge, you have a lot of depth. And so now allow the abyss, allow the void, allow those things that you don't see to come, okay? The middle pillar, backbone, balance in the middle way. So what I see here is it's time for you. You have deep knowledge. You have deep understanding. You've gone through deep transformation. You may be going through one right now. We're entering eclipse season. This eclipse season this month, it's gonna be, really stick with yourself, stick with positivity, do not give in, okay? And that is something that's really coming through, is that, it's not about the paradox of good and bad. It's about the wisdom that you have and to go forward with that, okay? That's that middle pillar. That's that backbone. That is that authenticity of your own individual, unique self, okay? We got someone doing land work out there. It is the great void. Again, that is exactly what the energy was going into this reading, and it's like reiterating itself. But what it's showing is the great void has all potential. So you that come to this channel, you already know that you've set your seeds. Be very, very specific about the seeds that you are planting, because they will come into your reality, okay? So you've set your seeds. Now, what's the next step? Remember, let go. Take inspired action and trust that what is coming, and it's gonna be better, and it's gonna be different, but it's going to be, okay? Remember that. So that is the energy that's coming through as well. There's this weed whacker man that is out there, and he's out there all of the time. It's literally hilarious. I'm like, man, how many weeds do there be? And you know, those weeds can be medicine, remember? Is like, and that's also, you know, part of the lesson here is that those things that need to come out of your life will. There is no hiding from it, especially September, October, okay? That energy is, you know, death for rebirth. That's going into Scorpio, into Libra. It's like death for rebirth to bring balance, okay? And that's what I'm seeing in these cards. I just looked, we got Lilith, honey, we got some deep energy, okay? Y'all that are here, Lilith is the energy of power. Lilith is the energy of freedom. Lilith, the story behind Lilith is she's actually the first feminine embodiment, okay, in a certain mythology. And she left Adam. She was first with Adam, you know, in the Bible story. And she left. She's like, no, I'm not going to stay with you and give you my life. I'm going to go be free. See, she got wings and she could be free. And then Eve stepped in and was like, okay, I'll be the abundant mother and, you know, all that, which is great too. But the story of Lilith and what I'm seeing here is that you already understand death and transformation. You've gotten that lesson so many times that now you're meant to have that backbone, have that universal pillar of energy go through the center of your being and root it into the world. Claim your power. It's time. If you already know what's real and true, why question it anymore? Okay, the Akashic records here are showing us the two worlds, okay? So this card is all about bridging the two worlds. Y'all most likely are in this energy of you already have massive knowledge. You already have this deep understanding. You see things in a way that's deeply esoteric and spiritual and yada yada. I'm getting a lot of worries. I'm getting people that are really worried, and you just keep going through the cycle of worry. Stop. Okay, you need to bridge the worlds. You need to bridge your knowledge into the material world. Stop being afraid of the gold. Okay, remember, everything is a belief system. Everything. And so when we choose to believe narratives of fear, it's not going to help. Now, there is real truth to have, but if you hold on to the fear that's attached to that truth, it's going to hold you back. You need to understand the wisdom of your being, okay? Come out of it, come out of that denser reality, because you need to ground in the energy, okay? You need to ground in the energy. What is this energy you need to ground in? I'm getting it. I just saw 916. Yeah, believe in positive karma, okay? Karma is just memory. So it's going to repeat itself unless you choose something different, okay? So if you choose something different, boom, you get a different result. All right, let's see. What is this? Diversity. You know a lot, okay? And it's almost like you know so much to where you need to believe it so that you can actually take action in the material world, so that you can actually have a backbone. This is kind of a hard lesson, is especially for people that are spiritually inclined, is that you need to realize that you do need to have a backbone, okay? You do need to put a method to your madness, okay? You need to ground your knowledge into reality, your understanding into reality. Otherwise, your whole life, you're just gonna be mad. You're just gonna be annoyed and upset and sad and just walking in this whole other world that, you know, the whole point is to bridge the two worlds because they are actually one. And we are the center point of the two worlds, okay, of like spiritual and physical. They're actually all quantum. It's all the same. And when we realize that, we can be embodied. We can be fully embodied. We can let this celestial energy bridge into the earth energy and become fully authentic and embodied. Okay. All right. Anything else for the beautiful, beautifuls? Okay. This came right out. Okay. So y'all listen, y'all have been through tons of heartbreak, tons of worry, tons of sleepless nights. Y'all have been through it. Why? The Hierophant. Okay. 3 of Swords, 9 of Swords, the Hierophant. This whole reading is showing me y'all have been through what you've been through to give you knowledge, to give you wisdom. It's your choice to get out of this now. It's your choice to get out of heartbreak and sadness, sleepless nights, worry. You know, it's your choice. You have to get out of this energy so that your body can heal, okay? That's the past story. Choose to gain the wisdom and claim your power, remember? Claim your power. You don't know what's next? Great. Nobody does. But you do have power over what you're choosing to create in your reality and what you're choosing to believe about yourself in this life. You do have that power. And what I see here and what I'm feeling and what makes sense too is that you have the power already, okay? Choosing to reap that wisdom and choose a different story for your life, that's a whole other ball game. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Let's see. I'm getting a taste of like plant medicine too, and alcohol. Ooh, I'm getting like the energy of like really numbing out. And you know, and whenever we numb out and we don't face what we need to do in this life, we get lost. And I know it's really hard, but you know, there's a time and a place. And for the ones that are here, y'all, you gotta let that old story go. You gotta let those things that are destroying you and keeping you in that fear-based mindset and like trying to kind of numbing you out, stop. You're powerful. You need to own that power. Own your sensitivity. Stop desensitizing yourself. And I say this with love, but part of my message is to just be honest and clear and just be a clear oracle, right? And so every human being is perfect as they are. The definition of perfect is the way in which something is made. There's no prerequisite. It doesn't mean you have to be made in a certain way. That's not the actual definition of perfect. It's the way in which something is made. That's it. Okay? And so letting go of the old stories of shame and guilt and just like, honey, you don't have to numb out anymore. You don't have to numb out anymore. You have patience in Ace of Illumination. So what I see here is there are foundations that are waiting to be made. You have the spark of inspiration. You have the passion. You have the creativity to bring you what you desire in this life. All right, y'all. That's what I'm getting from those cards. Yeah, you have a choice. Are you going to accept this initiation or not? This is Mary Magdalene. I don't know if y'all have studied Mary Magdalene, but if you haven't, it'll blow your mind. She has her own book that was destroyed during the colonization of, you know, one of the colonization periods of the world when they were burning the witches and, you know, people took over the Bible stories and took out all of the magical stories and put them in the Vatican and tried to destroy them and hide them from the people. It's the same classic story throughout all of history, where the true magic, the true freedom of human beings on planet Earth, in the universe and beyond all of that, was taken from the people and put into powerful hands, okay, and distorted and used to control the masses. So you're going through an initiation where, honey, listen, we know, a ton of us know, and how sad that is, and yada, yada, yada. We got to let it go, and we got to choose to own our power. That's your initiation. Choose to own your power. Choose to own your power. Choose to own your power. We got the Hierophant again. You got it twice. You got it twice. Y'all meant to be a teacher, okay? Loyalty, kindness, guidance. Y'all are meant to transmute all of this pain, all of this knowledge. I see that your pain is, all of your knowledge and the things you've been through, what you know, is giving you heartbreaking sleepless nights. You're like, what do I do? How do I do it? Like, honey, listen, you know a lot. Look at those scrolls that this woman got. You know a lot. It's time for you to bridge your worlds. Be who you are. And again, at the beginning of this reading, I kept trying to reiterate, you already know, okay? And the two cards that are popping out here is the Devil and the Soul Triangle. So this is a cherry on top, okay? Is stop feeding the energy that just wants you to be in a state of fear, that just wants you to be in a state of illusion, that just wants you to be in a state of anger. I know it's hard, because whenever you're awake in a world where many people are literally asleep or afraid to bridge worlds, it can be scary. But you already know, so you have to make the choice yourself, okay? Make the choice to be in the state of the soul triangle. See these master teachers here? You are one of them, okay? You're being initiated into it. Choose it. Choose what you know in the mystical and the soul-led and the harmony. Choose it. You gotta let go of the fear, and you gotta take those next steps in your life. And I'm here for you. So thank you so much for reaching out to me. And just like, I'm here for you. I will give you a personal reading.